Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It is September the 25th, and we're looking at the Song of Solomon, chapter 6, 7 and 8. We'll hopefully finish the Song of Solomon today. Now, I'm not going to read all the way through the passage. They are intense, and they're heady with difficult phrases. What I am going to do is I'm going to read my commentary on the passage, and then later I will share with you my password for today. So today we're reading the last three chapters of Song of Solomon. Chapter 6 continues the previous passage where the daughter was in conversation with the female attendants of Solomon. They say to her, verse 1, "Where is he? Then we can help you find him." Now, it's impossible to tell whether this is a genuine support or whether this is said in mockery. I tend to think that they were impressed with her and wanted to help her. But in the next two verses, she evades a direct answer. Perhaps she was not 100% sure of their motives. It would not have been unheard of for a powerful king to murder a suitor to obtain his betrothed. But I think that in this case, I get the impression that Solomon's reign was a reign of peace and righteousness, and that the people of his court would have been godly. It's very interesting that the Song of Solomon as a book, it has a certain air of peace and of quiet about it. She says he has gone into his garden, to his bed of spices, to feed in the gardens and to gather lilies. I belong to him, and he belongs to me, and he feeds among the lilies. Of course, he has no garden. The garden is actually herself. Then Solomon comes to talk with her from verse 4 of chapter 6 to chapter 8, verse 4. But first from verse 4, verse 10, Solomon comes to her with flattery. He tells her that she is beautiful, like an army with banners. He says, "Don't look at me because your eyes have smitten me. Your hair is like a flock of goats upon Gilead." He describes her teeth as a flock that has just been washed. Her head is like a pomegranate. He says, there are 60 queens and 80 slave wives and an endless number of virgins available to him. But she is special because she is untouched, an only daughter of her widowed mother. Everyone praises you up, who is up early looking out into the dawning of the day. You are beautiful as the moon, clear as the sun, terrible as an army with banners. It seems her look can shrivel the pride of man. So in verse 11 and 12, she answers him saying, "I was dreaming, thinking of my business and musing over my affairs, and I didn't know you were near me. You surprised me." Solomon replies, verse 13, "Come back to me so that I can look at you." She answers, "What would you see in me?" He replies from verse 13 to 7 verse 9, "You are like a dance of two companies of soldiers. You look so beautiful with your shoes on." And then he resumes his flatteries. This flattery of a young woman who had promised herself to another man is tantamount to stealing another man's partner. Yet, officially, she is not betrothed at this time. He tells her all about the beauty of her body. She answers, verse 10 to chapter 8, verse 4, saying, "I belong to my beloved, and his desire is towards me." She speaks as if he can hear her saying, "Come and fetch me away. Let us go to the fields where we first met. Let's lodge in the villages. Let us go to the vineyards. There I will give you my love again." She says, "I have lots of fruits for you to take in the family orchards. If you were my brother, then I would know where to find you. I would then be able to kiss you. I would bring you to my mother's house, who would teach you how to be a good wife. I would give you mulled wine. You would embrace me." She tells the attendants, "Do not entice me to fall for the king." Verse 5, "To the end from verse 5 to the end, we have the last section. The daughter is sent home by the king, accompanied by her shepherd boy, and she is seen by her brother's companions. They say, "Who is this coming, leaning on her beloved?" The Shulamite and her shepherd boy revisit the place where they first met. It was under the apple tree, probably an apricot. This was the place where she was born. She says, "Set a seal of ownership on your heart, like a slave's mark of ownership on the arm," because she says, "My love is as strong as death. Jealousy is cruel like the grave and a burning furnace. My heart burns and cannot be quenched. And if a man sold everything he had to buy my love, it would be contemptibly small account." One of the brothers now speaks about his little sister. He says, "She is so little," that is before puberty. They say, "What shall we do for her in the day when she is called for marriage?" He says, "If she were a wall, we would build for her a silver palace. If she were a door, we would board her up." Then she answers, "I am a wall, and my body is like a tower. And Solomon has many vineyards, wives, perhaps 1,000, but I'm not his." And then her beloved speaks, saying, "Tell everyone your story." She says, "Come quickly, listen to me, and take me as your own. Don't range far and wide any more. Come to me." And so this beautiful and fascinating story comes to an end. It is credited to Solomon, but it may more be a story about him, or even a story told to him for him to learn from. Now my password, I'm going to go back through the passage, is there's two little phrases, but I'm going to pick the second one. It's verse 7. It says, "Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, it would utterly be contemned." So what a man has in his house, all his wealth, he cannot give for love. Love is priceless. That's the point. And many waters cannot quench it. So there we have the end of one of the most beautiful passages of Scripture. I wish you every blessing. Catch up with you tomorrow. We'll be taking a look at the book of Isaiah tomorrow. So look forward to seeing you then. God bless you. Bye for now.